Joining us now is Ben Whiting, President and CEO of Orex Minerals. Good to see you, Ben.
It's good to be here at Red Cloud's event.
Now, the one thing that jumps off the page for me and for a lot of people, I think, about Orex is that you have these joint ventures with some big names in silver mining, Pan American Silver, Fresnillo out of Mexico. So let's focus on your Sandra joint venture with Pan American. So it's silver, gold, base metals, near surface, and you have an inferred resource of 33 million ounces. What else can you tell us about it?
Well, that's a snapshot of the project as it currently stands. There are other targets on the property that we have not yet drilled. As you move from where the Belarus deposit is, the 33 million ounces of silver, you move towards the Cerro Rojo, the Red Hill. And that Red Hill, there's a change in mineralogy. And so we're studying the overall complexity of this caldera complex. And we're seeing that there is gold towards the western side of the project. Silver is more dominant on the southeastern side. And so that's something that will go into a future drilling program.
And then the Caneto project, it's in an historic area. This is the one with Fresnillo, and this is gold silver. And Fresnillo has spent $6 million exploring to earn in 55% of the project. So what are the other highlights there?
Okay. In that location, if you like the historic connection, it has about 450 years of history in that mining. And the conquistadors came through that area. It was Coronado, and you remember from your Indiana Jones movies, the Cross of Coronado. Well, he wintered in that valley right through there. But because of its location, it's a window of the favorable rocks, which are referred to as the lower volcanic succession, surrounded by upper volcanic rhyolites, a window of about 17 kilometers by 4 kilometers, and there are over 50 veins in that area. We've drilled 12 of them so far, and we have our very first resource estimate has been put out on it. I think it's at 538,000 ounces of gold equivalent. So that's half gold, half silver by value. If you prefer to put it into silver terms, that would be about 40 million ounces of silver in the very first resource.
So for investors, Ben, what kind of milestones and catalysts can they look forward to the next while?
The meeting that I have in about 10 days will be with Pan American. We just completed a reconnaissance drilling program, and we have discovered that the host rocks that are at the Belarus deposit, we've extended those 1.5 kilometers further to the northwest. And so incorporating that knowledge as to how we are going to proceed to the next phase is something that I'll be discussing with the technical committee.
You also have a project in BC. It's copper, although you do have a gold resource there as well, 43101. It looks pretty large, and it's called Jumping Josephine. You got to love the name.
Yeah, it's a great name, JJ for short.
Yep.
Jumping Josephine doesn't really fit the portfolio model of the rest of the company because they're dominated by silver in Mexico. So we may look at ways of either joint venturing that or even selling Jumping Josephine as a way of monetizing that asset to expand upon the exploration. And
just lastly, you have an experienced team, including yourself. You were named the Explorer of the Year in Mexico in 2008. That's very impressive. So just wrap it up here for us. What's the investment case? So you've been hinting at it and giving us a lot of information, but what should investors know?
Investors know there's an expression, buy low, sell high. You may have heard that one before.
Yeah.
We currently are one of those companies that is in the low trough of the exploration. I would also be looking at adding an additional project in Mexico that fits into the portfolio. And that's something at the Red Cloud, as well as talking to investors. We've had a chance to talk to other mining companies, some of whom have projects of interest. And so this very morning, I had some sessions and 3 projects that have come to my attention.
So iron's in the fire then.
Irons in the fire.
Yeah.
We really appreciate the work that Red Cloud does in drawing us all together into this kind of a situation.
It's been a great event so far. Thanks, Ben.
It has been. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Ben Whiting, President and CEO of Orex Minerals.